Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream. And Chelsea lost once again today at Stamford Bridge, losing 1-0 to basement boys and managerless Southampton in what was quite frankly another low in a season of lows. Pathetic performance today. Absolutely nothing. Spineless, toothless, all the words you want to use. That was exactly what we were today. Could still be playing now and we still wouldn't have put the ball in the net. It was like we were bottom of the table and Southampton were in our position. There was nothing today. Absolutely nothing. And you really, really have to question some of Graham Potter's decisions today because, you know, this for a lot of people, myself almost included in this as well, this is getting close to the last straw for a lot of fans. Some fans, it is the last straw for them that, you know, despite, yes, we know we've had injuries. Yes, we know we've had problems with injuries. You know, we've signed a lot of new players. It takes time to bed these players in. But the problem is that you still have got a squad at your disposal that is more than good enough, with all those issues aside, to beat bottom of the table Southampton at home. There is zero excuses to not win that football match today. Southampton, I think, have kept one clean sheet in their last, 28 games or something like that? Some sort of mad stat. And yet they come to the bridge. Oh, and it's great. It's, you know, they get a 1-0 win. And they, to be honest, they were barely troubled. We went close on a handful of times. Mudryk at the end was very close with a shot that just whizzed wide. Other than that, I mean, Sterling had a header which he should have fucking done much better with. Look, we're clutching at straws here. There were a few opportunities, but the reality of the situation is same old Chelsea. Shit football, don't create enough chances, can't put the ball in the net. And when you do those three things, you're going to struggle to win any football matches. And that is exactly what we're doing right now. We are struggling to win, any football matches at all. 2 wins in 15 now. The two games that we won was 2-0 against Bournemouth at Stamford Bridge just after Christmas, where, you know, we played okay for an hour. Reece James went off and then we kind of fell apart, but we clung on. And then Crystal Palace, we managed to beat them 1-0 thanks to a Kai Havertz header. And we didn't do too much there, but we still got those were our wins. Defensively, we're pretty good. One thing I must make clear is that, you know, defensively, we're not bad. We're not conceding a lot of goals. And a lot of these games that we're either drawing or losing are by a goal, or we're just letting in one goal, which is not bad. But when you're not picking up the results, those kind of things don't really tend to mean too much. So whilst we have got better defensively, it's the same old problems, and we're not picking the results up. And as much as I'm come on here week in, week out, go on Chelsea Fan TV, go on whatever it is, you know, I have to see something. I just can't blindly back something. I supported Potter a lot more than a lot of people have, but give me something to work with. Give me a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Give me something to cling on to so that I don't have to cut. Because I can't come on here tonight or go wherever I go on various platforms and come out and back this manager when I've got nothing in return to be backing. Like, I can't back this because I've got nothing coming back at me that gives me a reason to support this at the moment. And there are no reasons to support this. Yes, you know, the project's exciting. And we've got some great young players. We've got some great footballers. And it's clear the owner's vision is very good. They've put investment in. They're ambitious. And Potter's the guy that they want to kind of steer forward. And I understand there's going to be issues and there's going to be problems. But right now, it doesn't look like we're going to be solving any of these issues with the current situation that we've got in place at the club. But I'll get on to different managers later on. But like in terms of today, and I'll get to the chat as well, guys, shortly. Big up everyone in the chat as well. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and check out the match vlog as well, which is now up on the channel from today's trip to Stamford Bridge, which other than meeting Andre Santos before kickoff was thoroughly depressing as it always is. But please go and check the vlog out. Now, my issue with today is that obviously it came out last night. No Reece James in the squad, no Thiago Silva, no Cucurella, no Ziyech, no Aubameyang. Those Ziyech, Cucurella, Aubameyang, you could kind of argue not too much of an issue. But to go into a game that is a must-win game, we're in a situation where we have to win. We're not doing well at all. at the moment, form-wise. We just come off the back of a loss at Dortmund. Even though we played all right, we still lost. And the decision was taken to rest Thiago Silva and to rest Reece James, and not just on the bench, to leave them out the squad completely. That's something you do when you're in a luxurious position. We are in anything but a luxurious position at the moment. We're taking the piss. Potter was taking a piss today. We were taking liberties when we're not in a position to do so, where we need the points. We need to play our best possible team we can. Now, Reece James, okay, maybe he can't start today. He can come off the bench for half an hour, 40 minutes, or come on at half time or whatever. There's no reason for him to be left out the entire squad. There's no reason for Thiago Silva to be left out the entire squad. We're making decisions that you make when you're in a luxurious position. When we are in the trenches, we're mudded, and you make decisions like that. Unacceptable today. That was totally wrong, totally uncalled for, and it's bitten us in the arse. Defense. Yes, we only let in one goal. We did give up a few chances, but at the same time, defense looks so shaky today with no Thiago Silva in it, no Reece James. I think the win percentage of Reece James in the team is like 17 out of the team is about 17% compared to 80% when he's in the team. You do not leave your best players out the entire match day squad when you are in a position like we are. We need our best players on the pitch, and we need our best team out. And to make decisions like that, to rest those guys, leave them out the squad, it's backfired massively. And it's a really, really poor decision. And it's one that's has to fall on the manager. And he's got to take the heat for that. He has to take the heat for that today. Let me get to a few things in the chat here, guys. Big up everyone. There was no point today. I understand we're managing minutes, but it's not the point. The Chelsea fans that are still back in Graham Potter are delusional. There's no progress in Chelsea. Look, I get what you're saying, and I'm a firm Potter supporter, but after watching today, what am I backing? That's my question now. What am I backing? I'm not saying, oh, sack the manager, because it's bigger than just sacking the manager, because then you go into the situation of who do we get in, who's available, who's going to do any better, who is going to be right for a long-term fit at a football club that's available. I will get into that conversation. I'll get into that conversation in a sec. No reason your fans have to be racist to our youngster Mara. I wasn't aware of any of that. If that has taken place, then that's obviously totally unacceptable. I presume he's the one that inadvertently kicked Azpilicueta in the face. By the way, hopefully Azpilicueta is doing well. Nasty looking incident there. I think he was out cold. I think he was in hospital. Not sure what updates there have or haven't been. If there's any updates, guys, have a little look for me and let me know. But yeah, if that has happened today, then that's totally unacceptable, and those fans should be banned from Stamford Bridge for life if that did occur. But certainly from where I was sitting, I didn't come across any of that. Potter out. Yeah, look, I hear you, and I think a lot more fans are now turning to that sort of that situation. Enough is enough. Yeah, Kev, I totally hear you, bro. I can't believe these owners believe in this manager to continue. Don't they look at the table? Do they? I wished Roman. Do they? Who we are? We are. I wished Roman when he sat. Look, Roman was fantastic for the football club. Indebted to the man forever for giving me memories for life. Some of the most amazing memories ever in terms of winning everything. But let's be real. The hiring and firing mentality was not working. We haven't finished above third in the Premier League since we last won it. We haven't come close to winning the Premier League since we last won it in 2017. We've become a cup side. And the only way that we're going to get successful in the league again is by trying to build something on a long-term project. Now, I'm not saying that Potter's going to be that guy or going to be the right guy, but whoever the manager happens to be, if it's still Potter, if it ends up being someone else, there's still going to be poor runs of form, and there's still going to be difficult situations. So are we going to just jump on every single manager's back at the first sign of a poor run of form? Or are we actually going to engage our brains and stop being spoiled as fans and think, actually, do you know what? We are going to have to go through some tough times. We're going for a rebuild. Whoever's in the dugout, there's going to be problems, and we're going to go on poor runs of form. I'm not saying we're going to go on runs of form, 2 wins in 15 like we are now, but whoever's in charge, there's going to be these bad runs of form. So at every bad run of form, are we just going to call for the manager to be sacked and kind of not really move anywhere as a football club? It's a really difficult situation. I've turned the Jimmy. Don't think Potter is the guy. Yeah, today I think was a turning point for a lot of people. I really want Graham Potter to be that guy. I think he's a great coach. I think he's a nice guy. He's done fantastic work at Brighton. He's really struggling right now. Admittedly, not all his fault. He's been dealt a difficult hand. The situation at Chelsea is not ideal whatsoever. But regardless of all those things, bro, you've got to be doing better than this. You have to be doing better than this. 2 wins in fucking 15 games. You've got to be doing better than this. Something needs to change. You know, as a player, when we're out there, we're down, we're in the trenches, we're in the mud. Like, you look to the sideline for some inspiration, and Potter's not really providing that. You know, he's passive. He's not really. Look, he shows encouragement, great. But in terms of like when you need someone to put a rocket up the players' arses, show some sort of motivation, strike some fear into them. He doesn't strike me as that guy. I know everyone's different. I know he's not like a Conte, Jose, or Tuchel or whatever in his touchline antics, and that's fine. But show me something. Like as a fan, show me something, and think for the players, show something, show some passion, show some fight, show some desire, show something that's going to motivate us. Yes, there should be self-motivation as footballers, but sometimes as footballers, when things aren't going well and you've got no leaders on the pitch, as was the situation today, and as is generally the situation at Chelsea at this point in time, you look to the bench for some sort of inspiration. You look to the manager. And Potter's not that guy at the moment. He's not providing that inspiration for me as far as I'm concerned. He should be sacked. Our fans. I mean, I don't think there'll be a protest or anything like that. What is this? After 3 games, you were supposed to see pattern of. Right, look, this idea that you should see something after like 2 or 3 games, like it's how long does it take to build a football team? How long is it like? These are all kind of subjective questions. It depends on the scenario. It depends on the like what kind of situation you find yourself in at the football club. There's absolutely, let me be clear, there's absolutely no way that Chelsea with this squad, despite the heavy amount of new players, the injury situations, we shouldn't be on 2 wins in 15, and we shouldn't be losing to bottom of the league Southampton at home. That's the case. But I have to be honest, like, all right, a lot of people get their wish and Potter goes. Who comes in? Because it's clear that Bowley and Clearlake want a long-term manager. They've picked Graham Potter to be their long-term manager. And I think they'll stick by that certainly for the next few weeks. If we were to lose the Spurs, I think if we were to lose the Spurs and we were to go out of the Champions League, then I think it could almost become untenable from an owner perspective as well. They're going to stick with him for as long as possible. They've heavily invested in the transfer market. They've heavily invested in bringing Graham Potter to the football club in terms of the money spent, 20 million to get him out, plus an extra 2 million for his staff. 5-year contract worth 12 million a season, 60 million. It's all in all, it's an 80 million pound investment over the 5 years, and obviously the coaching staff and whatnot as well. So the billionaires got egos. These guys will have egos. They won't want to admit that they got something wrong this early. So they're going to stick with it for as long as they possibly can. And do you know what? It goes 2 ways. You either stick with it for too long and it just gets even worse, which could happen, or you ride out the tough period, you get behind everyone, and then you start to see something on the other side. Now, that could well happen, and I'm hoping that happens. But right now, it seems like a million miles away. I can't see where we're going to get 1 goal, let alone 1 win from. And it really is difficult. Yes, James, big up, bro. Last 15 games, we have 13.3% win record. Yeah, not good enough. Simple as that, not good enough. This has to be the breaking point. I think, look, atmosphere at the game was toxic today. It was bad in terms of boos at half-time, boos at full-time, people not happy with what's going on, and understandable, you know, we pay our hard-earned money to watch week in, week out, travel up and down the country. We need to be seeing better than what we've been seeing. And I get it, these guys are just humans and they're trying their best, but right now their best is not good enough, and something has to change. Something has got to change. Tumo, big up. Yeah, atmosphere was not good today. Not good. What we got here? I've said I'll back Potter, but today I've seen and had enough. He needs to go. This cannot continue. Yeah, this can't continue. We can't continue like this. I mean, I say to the boys, you know, the Chelsea Fan TV lads and whatnot, that like we travel up and down the country and we say, oh, you know, we went to Brighton, got hammered. Oh, it's not going to get any worse than that. We go to Fulham and lose. We go to up to Newcastle and lose. Oh, this can't keep getting worse. It keeps getting worse every single week. And today, I think, was a new low in a season of lows. You know, the standard at Chelsea should be to have the best players, have the best managers, have and to be challenging to win those trophies. That will always be the standard. But right now, we are nowhere near that standard. And the aim has got to be get back to those winning standards. Yes, thank you, bro. Thank you. What else have we got down here? I was at the game today, and as soon as the final whistle went, it told me everything. What, the boos? Yeah, the boos and whatnot. I don't know where you were sitting, mate. I was in Matthew Arding lower behind, but obviously behind the goal. Yeah, people not happy, and rightly so. Rightly so. It is, and I think the board have come out and said, I'll bring it out. I'll bring it up on screen now. That the position is still. I mean, this could be club brief. I don't know what it might be, but that's. Yeah, this is it here. Told no change in Chelsea's ball position on Graham Potter. They're still backing him. The bigger immediate challenge of Potter is to stop the fans turning on him, and that requires a big and quick upturn in results and performances. That's going to be the biggest issue, yeah, because I think the owners will back him because, as I said, these guys have got egos. They won't want to admit they've got something wrong. They've invested a lot of money in Graham Potter to try and make things work. They're going to stick with this for a while longer, whether people like it or not. But I even think though, like even for these guys, you know, if we were to lose at Tottenham, if we were to get knocked out of the Champions League, that Potter out stuff just gets louder and louder and louder, and it becomes almost impossible to ignore. So look, he's still got time. It's clear that he's not going to be sacked, so there's no point getting up in arms about it. But at the same time, it's getting toxic. It's getting toxic. When we lose against Spurs, Leeds be no, look, KSA, man, if we were to lose all three of those games, I don't think any Chelsea fan in their right mind would think it's a good idea to continue. If we were to go out of the Champions League and to lose both those games, that's got to be like boys to men. That's got to be end of the road for Potter if that were to happen. Hello, mate. I mean, if you're about, give me a shout and you can jump on if you want. If not, no worries. Evening, May. He's got to go. No leadership, no respect. Football is about instant results and success. And this level, he's not a winner. What I would say in terms of him, he's got to go. We need to be careful about this because it's never as simple as just get rid of a manager. Because the next situation is who do we bring in terms of who do we bring in? Because it's clear that these board and these owners want to bring in a project manager, quote unquote, someone that's going to be here for the long term, someone that's going to try and build something. You sack Graham Potter like in the next couple of weeks, or he goes today, or whatever people want, and you think, right, you're not going to get a project manager that you want to come mid-season. Pochettino's not that guy. Zidane's not that guy. He can't even speak English. Luis, I see people talk about Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique is not that guy. Done well at that Barcelona team that won everything. Of course he did. It's impossible not to do well there. He was shit at Roma. He was shit with Spain. And I don't know where else he's been. He's not the answer either. If you watch Spain at the World Cup, possession football, passing teams to death, all they do is just knock it about and do fuck all. I don't want that. So you've got to be careful. Like, whilst it's clear that this is not good enough, and I fully respect people that are Potter out, and I can't back this today, and I'm finding it very hard to continue to back this whole situation. But at the same time, you've got to look at it and you've got to think, well, what do we do? Because, as I said, you're not going to get an interim manager. You're not going to get the manager that you want to come mid-season. People keep going on about Hansi Flick. Forget about it. That's not happening. The Euros is in Germany in 2024. He signed up for that. He's not going anywhere. So let's just forget about that for now. You know, I don't know what the situation would be. You'd have to go with an interim manager and then hope you could find something in the summer that would be suitable for what you're looking to do and the right philosophy and whatnot. But I look at it and I just think, well, who comes in? I mean, please do get involved in the chat about who you think should come in. And look, I've said it on Chelsea Fan TV after the game. Go and check my reaction out over there as well if you want, guys. Actually, please do. And, you know, yes, football is about getting instant results, but you can't always get those results instantly. Sometimes you have to go through some pain. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get these things going. Agreed, Potter's not a winner, but success as a manager, success in general is not black and white. It's not trophies equal success. No trophies doesn't equal success. Potter's had a successful career. He's taken a scenic route to the top, and you know he deserves a crack at a top job. A young British manager deserves an opportunity in a top job. He's out of his depth, 100%. He's never managed at this level before. And I think it's showing he's never managed at the football club this big. It's going to take time for him as well. Chelsea fans are so impatient and we're used to success. And the default reaction, as I've said many times under Roman, the default reaction to us not doing well was get rid of the manager. But look where that's got us. A cup side. Haven't finished above third in the league since we last won the league. Nowhere near challenging for the league. That's what we want. We want to win the league. Yes, picking up some cups are great, but let's not pretend that, we were some sort of, Premier League machine under Roma, because we weren't. And let's not pretend we were any good under Tuchel for the last year, because we weren't either. We were fucking dreadful. And even with Tuchel here, yeah, we might be doing a bit better. I said at this, we're struggling to make top four with Tuchel here. We really are. The recruitment is ridiculous, all unproven. Managers have been sacked for far less, but this is not Roman's Chelsea anymore. This is a new Chelsea. This is Chelsea under Bowley and Clearlake, and they want to give managers time. They want to build something for the future, and I think every Chelsea fans want that. But you've got to have something to hold on to. But at the same time, I'm thinking whoever comes in, whether it's Potter, whether someone else comes in, there's going to be these same problems. I'm not saying it's going to be 2 in 15 or whatever, but there are going to be the same issues that we've got at the moment. And every time it's a bad run of form, we're just going to call for the manager's head and just be in a never-ending cycle. We've got to do better than that. It's just getting embarrassing. We can't score and can't win. Something needs to be done as we came from Champions League to giving easy point to others, and no one is scared of. No, we're so easy to play against. We're so easy to play against. We're the easiest team in the league to play against right now. It's as simple as that. Big up, guys. It's going to get more toxic every game week. He needs to be sacked immediately. Well, if we go to Spurs next week, I'll be at Tottenham next week at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Look, I love this football club, but I love following us week in, week out. But fuck me, it's depressing at the moment. It's really tough. Times are tough right now. Times are tough. Jose, look, we all love Jose, but guys, let's stop with the revisionism here. Let's not pretend that Jose is going to be that guy and he's going to come in and everything will be amazing and he'll sort all the problems out. Jose's not that guy at the moment. He's still a good manager, but he's not a project manager. He comes in and maybe he wins some stuff and then he fucks off again in 18 months to 2 years when it all goes to shit. And then we're having the same conversation again. We've got to try and move away from this short-term thinking and find someone that we think is going to be a good long-term manager for us. Now, at the moment, we're really stuck. And I'm not saying that, I don't want to compare us to Arsenal, but this is a similar situation to what Arteta was facing in his first season in charge, first couple of seasons. Arsenal fans gunning for his head. And yet now they all love him because they're top of the league and they're doing well. It might take a season. It might take a couple of seasons. I don't know how long it's going to take, but as fans, what do we want? Yes, we want to win. Yes, we want results, but do we actually want to give people a chance to build something at this football club? Or are we always just going to take that short-term approach and just be a team that picks up a few cups and never challenges for the Premier League? I want to win the Premier League. Vishal, big up. By the way, guys, keep subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. There's definitely a few new faces in here tonight. So if you could subscribe to the channel, it would be greatly appreciated and join a community. And by the way, guys, you can also donate via the super chat function as well. So if you wish to donate via that function, then please do send in your super chats as well. 120 mil for Enzo, 100 mil for Mudryk. Chelsea are fucked. FFP on the wheels. We haven't actually paid that money yet. We've structured it in terms that work on the books much better. Enzo was 40 million pounds on the books up front, and then it'll be installments over the next few years, so that should be fine. Mudryk again, initial 62 million payment, and the rest is made up based on him winning the Champions League and the Premier League during his time here. So yeah, it is what it is. We can bring in interim and get someone in the summer. Well, who's coming in as the interim manager? We're gonna give Gus Hiddink a fucking ring. Guys, let's engage our brains here. Let's think about it. Yeah, okay, fine. Be Potter out, no problem. Have an idea. Okay, Potter goes. What do we do? Because we are not getting a long-term project manager to come in February, March. That just isn't happening. So it'd have to be an interim manager. You don't really get many big name interims. Tuchel's not coming back either, so you can all forget about that as well. So what do we do? I'd like to see some viable suggestions, because right now with the managers that are available, none of them appeal to me whatsoever, and none of them I think are the right answer. And then you look at interims. who do you get in on an interim basis? So yeah, please, I'm open to suggestions. Please do let me know. I'm willing to give Potter until September, October. Yeah, look, I still think that Potter deserves. I look, for me, Potter deserves the rest of the season and a pre-season and to attack things next season. But as I said, when we keep losing and not picking up results and there's nothing to hold on to, there's no hope, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. My patience is wearing thinner and thinner and thinner in giving him that time, because what's he showing me? What's he showing us that he deserves to be backed and he deserves more time? Because right now I'm not seeing any of it. Well, you want to see Sergio Conceição from Porto. I mean, we've tried these. I'm not saying these guys are bad managers, but we've tried this sort of shit before. VS Boas, it didn't work out. I mean, Conceição, good manager, but is that the right answer? Really, is that what we're doing? The amount of quality and the amount of youngsters thriving under him and making profit on top of that. No wonder Porto always had the best transfer. And to be honest, bro, I think Benfica are much better than Porto at doing that sort of shit. If you look at the stuff that they've made profit-wise over the years, it's an absolute joke from selling players. We know we have to go through pain to get success, but there has to be, there's no smooth path to success. There's going to be bumps on the road, but right now, this road is all potholes and no fucking road at the moment. That's the situation right now. We need to start fixing these potholes and making this road a little bit smoother, because at the moment it's bumpy as fuck and no one wants to go on. No one wants to be on that road, and that's got to change. And the only way that's going to change is by picking up results as quickly as possible. That is the only way Potter can start to win people back over, because the excuses are wearing thin now. You need some results. We're not asking for miracles. We're not asking for champagne football every week. We're just asking for a few fucking positive results. That's it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bit of a myth that Jose doesn't trust youth, but I don't. He does tend to prefer experience, that's for sure. DJD Live, big up, bro. Yeah, I hear you. Fair enough. I meant FFP rules will evolve next season. Yeah, they will. They already are. UEFA are looking at doing 5-year contracts now as the max, so to try and stop that long-term contract for amortization and all that FFP stuff. It's not a manager's problem that we wasted $500 million replacing good attackers we already have with expensive attackers who isn't better, who cannot score for us until our midfield is fixed. The attack needed revamping. There's no doubt about it. If we didn't sign Mudryk, if we didn't sign Madueke, if we didn't sign João Felix and whatnot, then we would have been happy to have Pulisic, Sterling, Havertz, Mount, and fucking Ziyech. Nah, come on, bro. That we needed some attackers in the window, and we are creating more chances. We were creating virtually zero chances before. We are now creating some chances, but we just can't finish. So, yeah, it's a problem. But at the end of the day, the board is still going to back him. So whatever we say as fans, Potter is going to be here for a while longer. Whether we like it or not, he is still going to be here. But it's clear as day what the issues are here. And I mean, let me just bring this thing up from Ben Jacobs as well. It's clear as day what the problem is here. And since the transfer window closed, that was January 31st, and we're now February 18th. We're now February 18th. So, and we scored 1 goal since the transfer window shut. Big test now. The ownership's backing him. Potter message has always been he'll be judged long-term based on years, not games. But it's a terrible run. 1 win in 10 games this year. That's so. That's really shit. One win in 10 this year. That's unacceptable. The only game we've won this year is Crystal Palace. Fuck me. That's terrible. And also to make things worse, I think Lukaku scored for Inter tonight. Yeah. Cheers to everyone. Yeah, great. Anyway, so 1 goal since the transfer window closed and 1 win in 10. So we've got 1 win this calendar year, and we're coming towards the end of February. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable on all accounts by whatever yardsticks you want to use, whatever excuses there are, some legitimate. Like, that is inexcusable. Inexcusable today. Inexcusable. Nah, bro, Poch is not a winner. Did you see how shit he was at PSG? Probably one of the worst PSG managers there's ever been. Like, come on, Poch is not the guy. Poch is not a winner either. You know what? He's got a league title at PSG, which everyone does. You know, ask PSG fans about Poch. Terrible, absolutely terrible. Yeah, he done all right at Tottenham, but he won fuck all. You know, if we're going to change the manager, we would need to bring someone in that's a winner and someone that's experienced and whatnot. Poch is not the guy. I'm sorry, Poch is not that guy. Not hating, but really Arsenal bite the bullet on Mudryk. He looks like a typical flashy player in smaller leagues. Thank you, Chelsea behind. Look, Mudryk, again, not his best today, but let's give the kid a chance. He's 22 years of age. Like, these are his first few games since November. His country's going through war. It's going to take him a little bit of time. Yay, like the cameo at Liverpool, which was so exciting to see. We haven't really seen much of that again. Yeah, but I'm confident that Mudryk will come good. I am confident Mudryk will come good. I hope so anyway. I think we should appoint Joachim Low, Sampaoli. Bro, have you seen what Sampaoli's been doing? He was shit at Marseille. He's gone back to Sevilla. They're just above the relegation zone in La Liga. Mate, Sampaoli is not the answer. And Joachim Low's not the answer either. I don't even think Joachim Low's been in club management. He's been at Germany for donkey's years. That was falling apart towards the end of his reign big time. Yeah, I'm sorry, but those are two no-goes. Two no-goes. The lineup Potter chose in a must-win game is shocking. What's this? Get Maurizio Pochettino, who'll do well in a project like this. He's good. But he's not a winner. Poch, for me, would not be much better than Graham Potter. That's how I see it. Let's move into the game itself. I mean, in terms of the lineup, I haven't really got too many issues with the lineup. You know, Havertz bench, which we were all calling for. Fofana gets his start. Obviously, Koulibaly retains his place with Thiago Silva rested. Chilwell left back. Aspie comes in at right back. Yeah, you could say Chalobah maybe should have played at right back. Ultimately, I don't think it made too much difference. Cover and Enzo in midfield, not bad. Felix, Madueke, Mount on the left, probably wouldn't have done that. I would have gone Mudryk. But look, in terms of the lineup, I don't think, given the situation we're in with the players that have been left out of the squad and the guys that are still working their way back up to fitness, I actually don't think the lineup was that bad. I really don't. I think the lineup was okay today. What wasn't okay is that we just don't look like a team on the pitch at all. No cohesive unit, no nothing. And it was the same again today. You know, there were a few good moments today, and there was some terrible finishing like usual. Sterling should have done so much better. Guys that, doing good stuff in the box, holding onto the ball for too long. Stop holding onto the ball for too long. They'll beat a couple of players. Like Havertz had a moment in the box where he beat a couple of players. And I was like, who the fuck's this guy? Because I've never seen this before. And then he tries to take on a third one and he loses it instead of giving the ball off, instead of laying it off. Sterling holding onto the ball for too long as well. Like, decision making is so poor all over the pitch. A number of fucking risky passes across the face of goal today as well. We've got to stop doing that shit. We fall apart when there's no Thiago Silva. We fall apart when there's no Reece James. We can't put the ball in the net. We could still be playing now and we wouldn't be scoring any goals. It's so difficult. Changes the back line every week. Yeah, look, changing the back line is not ideal. Some of it's definitely been circumstantial in terms of injuries, in terms of managing players' minutes. But I do agree it's not helpful to be constantly switching the back line. I don't mind a change here and there at fullback, but you don't want to be chopping and changing your centre halves. That's the thing. For me, you don't want to be changing centre halves. There's no reason today for Thiago Silva not to be in the squad. I'd love to know why that decision was taken, or if there's a reason behind it. Havertz, in fairness, like today, Havertz was actually okay from the bench, and that's where he should stick and just come on off the bench. He shouldn't be starting games for us. He shouldn't be starting games for us. That is for sure. Yeah, we did need our best 11. And I've said it on Chelsea Fan TV as well. We took the piss today. We made decisions that you make when you're in a luxury position. We are not in a luxury position. We're in a budget position. We're in no position to be resting our best players for a game against bottom of the league when we're desperate for the points. That was disgraceful today. You cannot make decisions like that. and expect no repercussions from it, because it was unacceptable, and it was just borderline stupidity to leave those players out of the squad today. It really isn't. Potter's not a winner. What process? There's no style of play, no tactical awareness. The respect from the players thing, no one knows that because we're not there. We're not there. All we see is the players on the pitch. We're not at the training ground. We're not in the dressing room. We don't know what the conversation's like. We don't know what the players think of the manager. So the no respect from the players thing, I don't think we've got any way of quantifying that. No, he's not a winner because he's not won at teams that he's been at. And, whole point of working your way up and getting an opportunity is to kind of to prove that you belong at the top level. And right now it's not looking like that. But, all managers go through really difficult fucking periods in their careers. And, sometimes you just need someone to show a little bit of faith in you. But at the same time, it is hard to show some faith. Look, there is no style of play. Tactical awareness is poor. No, we don't really know what our best 11 is right now. But what I would say is that, look, Potter's at fault today, 100%, and he's at fault for a lot of things. But let's not absolve. Well, I don't know what I think absolve. Absolve. Oh, I don't even know what the fucking word is. Absolve. Whatever the word is, let's not absolve players of. I don't know why I keep saying that word. I think it is that word of any blame, because they've got to take some heat as well. They've got to hold some smoke because that was disgraceful today. Yeah, you can lay a large portion of blame at the manager, but he's not the one that's on the pitch. Yeah, he sends those guys out, but ultimately you've got to turn up on the pitch and do something. Where's your I know sometimes you want to look to the sidelines for inspiration, and Potter perhaps isn't providing that, and I think it's evident he's not really providing that. But where's your self motivation? Where's your balls to think, fuck, this is unacceptable. We need to up our game. We need to pull our socks on and get a fucking move on and sort this shit out. There's none of that. So the players have got to take some heat as well, because they're responsible as much as the manager is. Yes, it's not going well under Potter at all, but the players are not performing, and we need to find out why they're not performing, because these guys aren't shit players. Yes, I know there's guys that have come in from different leagues and it takes time to adapt and whatnot. We've got a lot of new players, but we shouldn't be losing to games. We shouldn't be losing to bottom of the table. Southampton have done the fucking double over us. And, at the same time, it will take time, but these players are good enough to be beating bottom of the league regardless. We don't look like a team. We just look like a bunch of strangers. We look like a bunch of strangers. We really do. Fofana hold it. I thought Fofana was actually good today. What we got here, funny thing is, Chelsea can't still win the league. Chelsea had worse players when you won it last time, as you struggled in the league last season too. Yeah, we were. Champions League. Yeah, we could win the Champions League, but that's going to be a massive, massive ask. I can't think about winning anything at the moment. I'll just take a goal right now. Remember when Ernesto Valverde was doing good for Barca? What about him? Was doing good and then did shit. I don't know what he's doing. I just don't. These guys aren't the answer. Yeah, bro. It's love committing to the Blues every week all over the country. Look, I love this football club, and I always will, and I love following us up and down the country. But fuck me, it's depressing and it's bad sometimes. It really is. But yeah, players have got to take responsibility as well. This is not all on the manager. And if Potter were to go and another manager was to come in and they suddenly start playing, that speaks volumes about what sort of characters we've got in our team. That you suddenly start playing for someone else. Like, even if you don't like your manager, you're paid a fortune by the football club. Fans pay hard-earned money week in, week out to turn up. If you don't like your manager, the least you do is put in a fucking shift on a football pitch and do your best. And today, no one was as you say, George, no one was taking responsibility for the basics today. No one, absolutely no one. We've got basic passes going astray, passes being overhit, crosses being overhit, corners not beating the fucking first man. These are all basic football things that you would expect to see in fucking League Two. And yet we got guys on the pitch that are just not doing it. Basics not happening. And you can tell confidence is really low because players don't want to shoot. Players don't want to pass forward. They just want to play it safe rather than play a risky pass. Confidence is on the floor at the moment. And that does affect your decision making. That affects the sort of things you're going to go for. But at the same time, guys, you've got to do more. This is not just the manager's responsibility. This is a collective responsibility as well. Yes, the manager's got to take a lot of the blame, and he does. And I've made my points clear on the situation with Graham Potter right now. It's not good enough, and he's got to pull his socks up and do better. Otherwise, he's going to be on the scrap heap. He's going to be down the job centre at this rate if he continues like this. It's unacceptable. But at the same time, the players have got to take responsibility as well. They can't come out of this in any good light either, because everyone today was disgraceful, not acceptable. Try to be optimistic. He's not Chelsea standard and has got to go. Fair, bro, if that's your opinion. No, we can. I'm not saying that the players aren't good enough, because we've got quality on the pitch, but the players aren't doing the basics right, and the players aren't delivering the goods on the pitch. Whoever's on the sideline, how can you can't make us put the ball in the net. You could have a world-class manager on the sideline, and with our finishing, that like even they will struggle to pick up results, and that's just the way it is. I'm not saying it's 100% players. I'm not saying it's 100% Potter, but the players have got to take some responsibility as well. They can't come out of this scot-free either. They really can't. Yeah, we do have new players, and it's going to take time, but that's in it. Like, doing the basics is not a big ask. It's not a big ask at all. Look, romantically, the Jose trilogy would be amazing. Of course, it would. Like, from a story point, it would be unbelievable. But let's be realistic. Jose, in terms of what we're looking to do, what Bowley and co are looking to do, he wouldn't be the right fit. Yes, of course, he'd jump at the chance to come back, and he would love it. But at the same time, we've got to think that isn't what's going to be right for the long term. He's never stayed anywhere longer than 3 years. So look, from a fan point of view, yeah, of course I would love it. But reality, no, because it just doesn't make sense for what we're trying to do. It doesn't make sense for what we're trying to do, unfortunately. But look, I love Jose. Big up the special one. What a guy. But it just isn't right. It just isn't right. Don't get a transfer board if you've got Enzo, because we can't get everything in one January window. More stuff will come in the summer. And the owners have put in phenomenal investment and showing great ambition. We weren't going to get everyone in January. More players are going to come in the summer. And then hopefully the squad overhaul may be completed in the summer. But the summer's going to be busy as well. More key areas need to be addressed, and a lot of players need to go out. But yeah, you can't get everything. Yeah, we need a defensive midfield player, but we'll have to wait till the summer for that. It was Potter's fault to keep playing failed midfielders up front. Yeah, look, I don't agree with Mason Mount playing today. I thought Kovacic was poor today. Yeah, the midfield wasn't good enough. They are. Potter's only supposed to go and I just got to kick the. Yeah, he is. But he is. But also, over the years, when we've had a strong spine and big characters, Ballack, Terry, Drogba, SCM, Lampard, Cech, he didn't need to look to the manager to give him some stick or whatever. They were on the pitch demanding more from their teammates and not accepting anything less than 100%. No one's on the pitch today doing that. It's kind of all right. It's like, oh, don't worry about it, guys. Where are the guys digging each other out, shouting at each other, saying this is not good enough and driving their teammates on to do better? Those guys don't exist in this team anymore, and that is the problem. Or they do, and we're just not seeing it. No, that's fine, bro. I'm cool to disagree with people. No problem if people disagree with my opinion. I disagree with people's opinion. It's cool. I'm not saying I'm not absolving Potter of any blame today. Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is, today is not entirely on him. Yes, the decisions to leave those players out of the squad was really poor. Yes, I think some of the substitutions are poor, but the players have got to take some responsibility as well, because the chances that we missed, we should have scored at least one of those chances. They have to take responsibility as well. Isn't the problem a lack of goal scorer? Yeah, we don't have any goal scorers, but at the same time, that's not the player's fault that we don't have a goal scorer. But what is the player's fault is that the chances we create, no one can put the ball in the fucking net. The manager can't make the players put the ball in the net. Yes, when confidence is low, probably you might snatch at your shots a little bit more. You might do this and that and whatnot. But, at the end of the day, you're the guys taking the shots. It's your responsibility. And if you're missing them, it's your fault. And that's what it is. Try to be optimistic. Yeah, I'm trying to be optimistic. We have new players, no excuse. The players didn't sign themselves. From being a team every week, would be nervous to play against, and now us becoming Charity FC, there's not a play style. He's just making players do their own. He has to establish one or we won't win. Yeah, look, it's really tough at the moment. We need to start picking up results. We need to start winning. It's as simple as that. We have to start winning. We have to do something different. We've got a week on the training ground before Tottenham. Something different has to happen. Something has got to change. Otherwise, the manager will be gone. And it is as simple as that. What are the basics? The basics, for me, put 100% in. Beat fucking first man on corners. Play, get simple passes right. Don't give the ball away. Play the ball forward. Move the ball quickly. We're not doing any of these things. And that's the problem. Potter is making such weird decisions, resting still. Yeah. The Aubameyang thing, I don't really not that bothered about because I think he's shit and he's done nothing since October. So yeah. I don't know why Mount was playing on the wing. It's probably giving Mudryk a rest. But Mount on the wing doesn't work. Yeah, there's been a few team selection mistakes today. There have. In terms of, I think the subs, the team selection, I wasn't that bothered about. I don't think the team selection was that bad in terms of what we had available. Yes, the mistake, and it was indefensible mistake to leave those guys out of the squad for sure. But that's where we're at right now. Jorginho, yeah, he did. I mean, he never done that at the fucking bridge. I didn't even know that he had that in his locker. But fair play. Ivan, big up. By the way, guys, keep smashing the likes on the stream and subscribe to the channel as well, please. I would really appreciate it. And also, check out the matchday vlog as well, guys, from today's trip to Stamford Bridge. We'd greatly appreciate it. We're playing like Brighton, 23 games, 23-4, 23 against, 10th place. Yeah, look, if we progress in the Champions League and we beat Tottenham and we beat Leeds, if we win our next three, which is a massive if right now, that will buy them some more time. That will win. That will start. That maybe might win some of the fan base back, but anything other than 3 wins in these next 3 games is not acceptable. And I know that might seem harsh, but that's the reality of the situation we're in now. We need to get 3 wins. We have to. I don't know. I thought the final was pretty good today, to be perfectly honest. It always takes time for players new to league. Yeah, it does. It does. I'm not excusing that, but you can't afford to have 6 or 7 players in the team of the 10 outfield players all requiring time to settle in. Like it's just not a recipe to make a good team. If you had to pick a manager to replace Potter to fit what the owners want, who would you pick? If I could have anyone to replace Graham Potter in a hypothetical situation, or maybe in reality in soon, who knows? I look at managers that I like, young, exciting managers. It's tough. I mean, I'm a big fan of Julian Nagelsmann. I think the Bayern manager would perhaps be quite good. Nagelsmann for me would be decent. I don't know. I like Xavi at Barcelona. I mean, I know again it's tricky. He's not done an awful lot in his career so far, but I think for me probably Julian Nagelsmann, young, exciting. But there's a lot of them. They really the owners really like Oliver Glasner, the Austrian guy at Frankfurt, won the Europa League last year. They're having a good season again in the Bundesliga. Glasner's a good manager, but I think for me, I'd probably go Julian Nagelsmann if I had to pick someone. That's what I'd go with. What else have we got in here? So we need to spend more. Yeah, we do need to spend more. I'm not saying we need to spend more to beat Southampton. Absolutely not. No excuses today with the players on the pitch not to be beating that Southampton side. But we need to spend. We do need to spend more money in this summer because we've got positions that we still need to address. We have to. Yeah, Saints did miss good chances as well. Absolutely, Nick. Saints did miss good chances. I know us fans want him out, but we also have to think about the players. Without wins, players will not get motivation in the dressing room. Yeah. I don't know what the dressing room is like right now. It's going to be low. Confidence is going to be low. It's not going to be a great place to be. And, fans are right to boo at halftime, right to boo at full time. But, we've all got to try and get behind the team again and try and spur them on to get some wins, get some goals, get some points, because that negative energy from the stands transfers to the pitch. It really does. We need the creators to create and the finishers to produce. Right now, there's no division and no specialization. We're putting in. Yeah, there's just no ideas, no chemistry at all at the top of their pitch, and that's going to take time with new players. Chemistry does take time, but yeah, not acceptable today. Not acceptable at all. Really, really shit today. But it is what it is. We move. It's fine to just accept Potter as an okay manager at a certain level, but at the top where there's no margin for error. Look, of course, some managers have a level, have a ceiling. and that's their ceiling. And at the moment, and and that's absolutely fine. You've got some players that will have their ceiling. They'll be good players, but they won't be good enough for the top level. That's okay, not a problem. And it is absolutely fine to accept that Potter is. You might think Potter's an okay manager at a certain level, and at the top level, he's not really cutting it. I can absolutely appreciate that and absolutely accept that. And I think for some people, it's already got to that stage. For me, it's not quite that stage yet. I still believe that he can do something. But right now, I've got nothing to cling on to, nothing to back. I'm not seeing anything that's making me want to support this manager and see that this is the right thing going forward. But you can absolutely say that, certain managers, certain players are meant for certain levels, and that's it. Big up. Are you Potter in or out? Just about in, but I'm swearing. I'm like free. I'm like sort of 1.5 feet on the out. I'm not fully out yet, but I am swearing a bit more now because of the results simply haven't been good enough, and I'm not seeing anything that's filling me with any confidence. This is a difficult one because, as I said at the top of the show, the investment that the owners have made in this guy, billionaires have got big egos. They don't want to admit that they've got something wrong this soon. No one likes to admit that they're wrong. But look, a £20 million investment to get Potter, $2 million for the coaching staff, 5-year contract, £12 million a year, £60 million if he's here for the whole time. That's an £80 million investment over the 5 years. They're not going to get rid of him now. The noises coming out of the club are that they're still backing him. They're still, giving him time, looking at it as months and years, not games and weeks in terms of his tenure. I've always said give him to the end of the season, and he deserves a pre-season and the start of next season to kind of show what he can do. But I honestly think if we were to go out of the Champions League and we were to lose to Tottenham and not beat Leeds, I don't see how you can continue from that. I really don't. I really don't see how you continue from that. I mean, for me personally, I would give him to the end. I'd give him to the pre-season next season and see how he starts the season. But I'm also fully aware that we can't keep losing every week for the rest of the season. And I do, as I say, I think if we were to lose to Spurs, if we were to not beat Leeds and we were to go out to Dortmund, I think he's in big trouble, big trouble personally. Marco Silva, he's done a great job at Fulham. I don't know whether, again, another similar. This is the thing, people talk about Marco Silva, people talk about likes of Thomas Frank doing very similar jobs to what Graham Potter did at Brighton. And then these guys come and they're like, oh, he's not good enough, not winner, never managed at this level. And we have the same conversation again. Marcelo Gallardo, the geezer at River Plate. Yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about him, supposedly a good manager, but again, no experience outside of South America, still hasn't made the move to Europe yet. If Chelsea had more than enough quality to beat Southampton, they wouldn't have lost twice to them. Yeah, we lost to them under Tuchel, where that was a terrible performance at St Mary's. Really did. Yeah, I hear you, bro. I hear you. I hear that. Cucurella, Sterling, Aubameyang are all having the same problem Lukaku experienced. I hope Jean Madrid reminisce. Yeah, I hope so as well, bro. I hope so as well. Today was the first time I said it's... Yeah, mate, Charity FC. We're feeling generous today. We're giving out gifts left, right, and centre. If you had to put it down to one thing that's fundamentally, I think it just comes down to a complete lack of confidence at the moment. But then at the same time, I'm thinking, I don't really know I don't think it's just one thing, because if it was just one thing, you could highlight that one thing and work on eliminating it. I look at it and I think defensively, we're very good. You've got one of the best defenses in the league. I think we've kept the third most clean sheets in the league. I think we've got one less than Arsenal, and they're top of the league. Defensively, we're good. We're not letting in a lot of goals. And as I say, in these games, a loss is a loss, absolutely. But there's losing and there's losing. And what I'm saying is, we're not getting hammered in these games. We're not getting played at the park. We're not letting in a lorry load of goals. We're losing by one goal. So defensively, I think we're good. We're not letting in a lot of goals. We're solid. Midfield needs work still. Enzo's coming and he's done well, but we need more there. We're fully aware we need more there. And we have created a few more chances in recent weeks, but we still can't put it in the net. And I think confidence affects a lot of these things. I think team chemistry affects a lot of these things. But right now, I don't think we're that far away in terms of getting this right. But at the same time, I'm not sure how. I don't know. Like, I don't see how. I don't know how long it's going to take to fix it. We're not far away, but I don't know how long it's going to take to fix it. We just need to get the top end of the pitch functioning better, and we need to try and learn how to score. But at the same time, it's really tricky. So, bro, I think look, I don't think I can put it down to one thing. It's a collective thing. I think it's confidence. We've got the fact we've got a lot of new players in the team. I just think also maybe Graham Potter's struggling at this top level as well, and he's still learning. I don't think there's just one thing to it. So that's first. Oh, I've done that. Zidane. Look, Zidane would gain instant respect for his playing career, but his coaching accolades. Look, he's won 3 Champions Leagues in a row with Real Madrid. Phenomenal. No manager's ever won 3 on the spin, but he's totally unproven outside of managing Real Madrid. How good a manager actually is Zidane? We don't really know because he's had a winning team at his disposal instantly. Is Zidane a manager that can build something? He's got no track record of showing that. Plus, he can't speak English either, so that's a massive problem. We don't want to be some sort of Bielsa at Leeds thing where we turn up to every fucking interview with a translator. Carlo is a good manager. Again, I don't know if the club would go back for him or not. I'm not really sure. Supposedly, he might be taking a Brazil job at the end of the season, so I'm not too sure there. Look, this is unacceptable today. And yeah, that has been the breaking point for a lot of people. And he's walking the tightrope right now. He really is struggling. No, we can't keep slipping down the table. Lutzi's a carrier in midfield. Yes. Yeah, the team is disjointed. But look, whilst we're all loving the investment in January and the ambition of the owners, the flip side of that is that when you put all these guys into the team, you've got out of your 10 outfield players, 5 or 6 of those players are going to be new every week and getting to learn each other. So no wonder we look like a bunch of strangers and there's no team cohesion. That's the trade-off for that situation of bringing that many new players in at once. That's just the way it goes. But guys, I've been going almost an hour. We haven't really even got into the fucking player ratings and kind of the game itself. I mean, there wasn't really much to the game. Gave away a fucking foul, free kick. Ward-Prowse puts it top bins. He's a very good free kick taker. It's virtually like giving away a penalty when he's on the pitch. So yeah, other than that, there wasn't too much. Yeah, there was a bit of a reaction in the second half, but there wasn't really much more than that. And it was same old from us. But let's get into the player ratings. By the way, guys, keep smashing the likes on the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the Matchday vlog, and get involved in the player ratings as well. Let me know your ratings for today. Let's start off in goal then with Kepa, and I thought he was all right today. There wasn't really an awful lot that he could do about the free kick. But I don't know. Yeah, there wasn't much he could do about the free kick. There really wasn't. But other than that, I thought it was okay. Yeah, there was a few risky passes and stuff, but I thought this was an all right performance today. I'd go with a 6 for Kepa today, a 6. Aspie today. Look, hopefully he's okay. Nasty looking incident today. Really bad for him. Not heard any updates yet, but hopefully he'll be all right. But another issue here. No disrespect to the legend. He's won it all. What a guy he is. Azpilicueta in 2023 playing for Chelsea just isn't it. He's just not good enough. He shouldn't be playing. I think it was a mistake to start Azpilicueta today. I think Chalobah should have started ahead of him. I thought Aspie was quite poor today, if we're being honest. He just doesn't offer anything. He's just out of sorts, looks in disarray, and just not good enough for this level anymore. It is the reality of the situation that we find ourselves in with Aspie right now. So, yeah, I think for me, for Aspie, just average today. I'll probably just give him a 5. That would be my rating for him. Just not good enough. Simple as that right now. And we can't be in 2023 where the options are Azpilicueta starting as a right back. It's just not on. And again, highlights the stupidity of the decision to leave Reece James out of the squad. That shouldn't have happened. That should not have happened. But, it is what it is. And we're in the situation we're in now. Let's move on to Koulibaly. Who coughed up the ball on that free kick? It was Aspie gave away the foul for the free kick on the edge of the box today for the goal. That was him. To be honest, Koulibaly had a good game in Dortmund. I don't think he was good today. I really don't. Um, he was rash. Decision making was poor. He looked a bit all over the place. This wasn't the Koulibaly that we saw in Dortmund. And do we really have to have Thiago Silva playing alongside these guys to make them actually look competent? But Koulibaly subbed at half time. If someone in the chat wants to have a look and try and work out how many games we've won with Koulibaly starting, I don't think it's many either. It can't be many. It really can't be. I mean, definitely Everton first game of the season, we won that one. I think it's. I don't know how many games Koulibaly started, but I would imagine the games that Koulibaly started, I'd be surprised if we had three. I'd be surprised if we had 5 wins from games that he started. I would be surprised in that. Yeah, Koulibaly not great today. Subbed at half time. He was rash. Yeah, just all over the place. Yeah, not good today. Not good. I think a 4, a 4 for me. And whilst you're at it, let's continue with Fofana. I felt actually having kind of cooled down a little bit. I didn't say it after the game because I obviously wasn't thinking about it. But a positive today. Fofana was really good in that second half when he came on. First minute since the Milan game at Stamford Bridge, which was a long fucking time. I thought he was really good. Defended well, good pace, got forward well at times. I thought Fofana was really good today. I'd probably give him a 7 for that second half performance. It was really encouraging, and it was probably the only positive that we could have had. Yeah, the only positive we could have had today. But Fofana was good when he came on, and I was really pleased that he did well. In terms of Badiashile, not bad today. Didn't look as solid or as confident as it did when Thiago Silva has been alongside him for the last few games. But at the same time, I thought he struggled a bit. Not one of his better games for Chelsea, but he wasn't terrible today. I felt he was okay. I'd probably give him a 6, if we're being honest. I think I'll give Badiashile a 6 for today's performance. In terms of Chile, to be honest, I can't really remember too much what Chilwell did. He was okay, but do you know what? I actually might take Aspie's rating down. I don't think Aspie was that good today. I'm going to take him down to a 4.5. Actually, I'm going to give him a 3.5. Thought he was shit today. Chilwell got forward well at times. Frustrating that his corners weren't beating the first fucking man. Other than that, yeah, he got forward well, put in a bit of a shift. He wasn't great though. I mean, I don't know, probably a 5 or a 6 for Chilwell. I'll give him a 6. I think that's fair. Let's move into the midfield. Kovacic, first start, played 90, first game for a while. It was peak. Kova was not good today at all. Really, really struggled. I thought the midfield today in general was pretty poor, but Kova was poor. Kova was shit today. It is what it is. No point beating around the bush. First game back in a while. It was no good. Let's go. I think he was below average. I think if Kova a 4.5, I actually think Chile's 6 might be a bit high. Let's go 5.5. Yeah, I thought Kova was poor today. Really was rubbish. Not doing the business. Let's move to Enzo. Enzo, not awful today, but not been as good as he has been in other games. Not been as influential as he has. Got stuck in. Did well going forward a little bit at times, but yeah, this wasn't great. It was better than Kova, but not much better, really. Probably give him an Enzo an average 5, to be honest. Not much to write home about at all today. Really not. But yeah, is what it is. 5 for Enzo. No, not convinced of Enzo, bro. Look, it'll take him time as well, but he's a very, very talented boy. I think it's very clear to see that he's a talented player. But yeah, today wasn't great, and yeah, I think he'll show over time that the immense quality that he does possess, because he does, and he's looked a touch above in midfield for us in the games that he's played. Today wasn't one of those games, but I've got every confidence that I think Enzo will be a great success at this football club. The problem is the dressing room. We have a bunch of spoilt brats that have rotted the dressing room. The winning mentality is absolutely fucked right now. Yeah, look, I think that's a fair point. I really do. I do think that's a fair point. Panic, overinflated purchase. The price was always going to be that price because of the release clause in the contract, and they were never going to accept any less than the release clause. That's the way it is. If you wanted that player, you had to pay that price for him. We're desperate for midfielders. I think Enzo is one of the best midfielders in the world, one of the best young players in the world. And I think, in terms of players to buy a midfield that are going to improve your midfield, he's on a list with Rice, Bellingham, Caicedo, maybe Romeo Lavia from Southampton today, who I actually thought was very good. So yeah, Enzo not great today, but yeah, I think he's going to be very good for us. Let's move on to the front line then. What we got here, Madueke on that right hand side. Do you know what? I actually thought, particularly in that first half, I thought Madueke was one of our best players. One of the players that actually looked like trying to make something happen. Yes, he's still a bit raw. Yes, he's not the finished article, and not everything he does works out. But he's direct. He's pacey. He takes players on. He tries to make things happen. I actually thought he was all right today. Not amazing, but one of our better attacking players today for sure. Not bad today. I'd probably say I'd give him a 6. Actually, I'll give him a 6 because if I gave Chile a 5, I'll give him a 6. Actually, let's give him 5.5, Madueke, and then we'll give Chile a 5. I actually don't think Chile was that good today. I know I'm flip-flopping all over the place here. Madueke 5.5. Let's move. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Kante. To be honest, mate, I think a lot of us have forgotten that Kante even plays for this fucking football club because he's not played for so long. How mad is it, right, that Kante's not played since the second game of the season in August, and we're now coming into end of Feb, start of March? That is mad. It's it is what it is, but that is a madness. He is irreplaceable. I don't know if he's going to sign a new contract or not. I don't know if he's ever going to reach that form again or not. But yeah, of course he's a massive miss. A player of his quality is a huge miss for sure. Mudryk, what we got here? We should have spent all the wasted money on midfielders. Have we done that last January? That's easy to say. I don't know if we would be, but yeah, we should have invested in the midfield much earlier than we did. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. And we are where we are. João Felix today, home debut at Stamford Bridge. Not, if we're being honest, not great today. A few moments here and there. I felt he struggled to get into the game. Did play a bit of centre forward, then was playing 10. Yeah, it's one of those days for Felix. I'll probably give him a 6. Yeah, I'll just give him a 6. I felt he was all right. What else have we got here? Mason Mount on the left-hand side. I've got to be honest, I thought Mount would be up for this one. Being a Portsmouth fan. Yeah, Assad, Felix wasn't good today. No, he wasn't great. Maybe a 6 is a bit... Was Felix worse than Madueke? Maybe Felix gets a 5 instead. Maybe I was just being a little bit too nice there. Let's give him a 5. Maybe even a 4.5. I don't fucking know. Let's give him a 4.5. Fuck it. Mount. Yeah, anyway, Mount in the starting art today. Mount's got a good record. Good record against Southampton. He's a Portsmouth fan. Normally does quite well against them. Playing on the left-hand side today. I'm sorry. This guy was invisible. This guy was invisible today. Didn't do anything. Yeah, he ran about. Yeah, he put a bit of a shift in. Offered nothing. And I don't know what's happened to Mason Mount right now, but he certainly shouldn't be in the Chelsea starting lineup. And I don't know what he's doing. Look, he loves the football club. The fans do like him because he's come through the academy and whatnot. He always puts in a shift. But at the end of the day, you've got to start delivering on the football pitch. Mount's not delivered on the pitch all season, really, bar 1 or 2 games. He's been no ways and nothing this season. But something needs to change. I don't know what needs to change in him, but something's happened where he's just not playing well at all. And that at the moment doesn't look like changing. I thought he was terrible today. I mean, probably a bit better than Aspie, Actually, I don't know. He wasn't invisible. I give him the same rating as Aspie, 3.5. Whether he signs a new contract or not, let's kind of see. But at the same time, this ownership is very clear that if you go into the last year, if you go into a year of your contract left and you've got no intention of signing, you will be sold. They're not in a position to let players leave for free. That's not going. Those days are gone now. We're not going to be doing that anymore. So yeah, if Mount wants, I hope Mount stays. Not because I want him to be a starter, but I hope he stays because I think he can be a good squad player for us. And if he can rediscover his form, we've seen what he can do for the club. Then we'll have a good player on our hands in the squad. And George, I agree with you, mate. I think it would be a massive mistake to sell him to a Premier League club, somewhere like a Liverpool who are interested, or even a Manchester City or whatever. That I think that would be a big mistake, and I don't think we should do that. But equally, on the flip side, if Mount decides that he doesn't want to stay at the club, if he decides that the criticism he takes online is too much, and it is outrageous, by the way, the criticism that he gets. I think it's more criticism than anyone else. I've said this in my piece on this a lot, but he definitely deserves a new contract. He deserves a pay rise. It's not ideal that the situation he's negotiating a contract when he's in the worst form of his career. That never goes down well with the fans when you're asking for money, when you're not playing more money, when you're not playing well. I get that. But yeah, I don't know what's happened to Mason Mount, but I do think it would be a mistake to sell him. But if he wants to leave, then he wants to leave, and we can't do anything about it. But yeah, I think he'll still play an important role within the Chelsea squad, and it would be good for him to stay, in my opinion. Right, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Let me bring that back up. Let's round out this player ratings with Datro Fofana. First start today. I wasn't expecting him to actually play for Chelsea at all this season. Because coming from Norway, a bit of a young talent, raw. We saw him against City in the cup second half, and we got hammered. He looks okay. He had a promising cameo against Fulham, and thoroughly deserved his start today. And I thought he did all right. Some good touches, good hold up play, using his body. I think he was unlucky to come off. I actually want to see more of Fofana playing up front, but it was clear that the chemistry of the likes of Fofana and Felix wasn't really working. But yeah, I felt Fofana was quite good today. Let's give him a 5. Oh, that sounds like he was shit. I thought he was all right today. Let's give him a 5. Let's give him a 5.5. I felt he was okay, and he's still raw, and he's young, and he's hungry, and he will excuse me, and he will get better. Mount is rotten as fuck. He's the main culprit as to how rotten this Chelsea changing room is. I don't know how true that is. I don't think I necessarily agree with that, but if that's your opinion, then that's more than entitled to it. But I don't think that's not how I view it. But if that's your opinion, bro, that's cool. If that's what you think, no problem. Thanks, mate. Big up as always. I don't know what we played up front, but Fofana was playing as a wing back before being subbed off. I don't really know what was going on. If it's contract problem, if you truly loves the club, you play for your club, you don't sell like well. I think he's fully entitled to a pay rise because for what he's done for the club over the last 2 years, kind of carrying the team when the likes of Havertz, etc., on Havertz, Kepa, Jorginho, all these guys on twice as much or more money than him for not doing anywhere near as much, then he deserves a pay rise. As simple as that. He's one of the lowest paid players in at Chelsea. He deserves a pay rise. Marco Silva will get the Ream manager, who isn't even a manager. Yeah, he's 30 years old. Will Still, great story. Check it out, by the way, if you've not checked out that story. Yeah, I don't know. Sterling came back on second half. I thought he looked okay, a little bit threatening, not great. Held onto the ball for too long, tried to make things happen. I just think average for Sterling today. I really do. I think that's about right. Yeah, I think that's really it. We've done Marco Silva. Some minutes back, you said you don't want Chelsea to be compared with Arsenal regarding Arteta. What do you mean? No. What I mean is I didn't want to compare. I don't want to keep comparing Chelsea to Arsenal. But in terms of the situation, that this is very similar to what Arteta was in at Arsenal when he first started. Yes, the FA Cup that they won kind of helped him a little bit in terms of time in the bank and whatnot. But yeah, that's basically what I meant. Look, I'm going to be honest. This is just owner's pride keeping Potter in a job called Yes Man Tax. Yeah. Look, I don't know. As I've said on the show a number of times, the billionaires have got big egos. They don't like to admit when they're wrong. They don't want to be wrong. Um, and there's look, part of me is like, I admire you sticking by someone and kind of giving them the support to turn it round. But then at what point does that backing become blind backing and you just backing something for the sake of backing it? That's the situation that we need to try and work out. He was, I don't know, maybe that 5.5 is a bit, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Is that a bit harsh? I don't really know. Let me just see if there's any updates and then I'll round this one out because it's been peak today. It's been one of those days. Yeah, let's have a look. Are there any? This can't be true. Potter's only gained 10 points since he's come in. No, that must be bollocks. There's no way Graham Potter's won 10 points since he arrived as manager. I think it's 21 out of a possible 51 points. I don't know what those stats are. I don't know what the stats are. That looks just like, I don't think that's true. It's not many points though, that's for sure. But let's have a look if there's anything else happening. No, I don't think there's any other news really. Yeah, comments on the press conference. Yeah, it is what it is. Kind of what you expect. Yeah, don't think there's too much else going on. No updates on Aspilicueta either so far. Hopefully he's doing well. Okay, Matt wants to play advice. He's not playing shit out of bitterness. I don't think that's the case at all. He's just not playing well. He's not just not playing well at the moment. He's not playing there at all. It's not happening for him at the moment. Yeah, there were boos at halftime. There was boos at full time. It was quite toxic today. It could get worse if we don't start picking up results. The only way it's going to get less is by picking the results up. But yeah, guys, we've been going for about an hour, over an hour now. It's been a great show tonight. Really enjoyed it. Probably going to round this one out here and just try and forget about Chelsea for the rest of the evening. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in as always. Thank you for your support. It's greatly appreciated. As I said, make sure you smash the likes on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Please click that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Trying to get to 3,000 subscribers as quickly as possible, and every new subscriber really helps. So please do click that subscribe button. Check out the matchday vlog on the channel as well from today. It's up there now, so please go and give that a watch. And yeah, guys, I'll be back in a few days' time with some more Chelsea news, some more Chelsea discussions. And then we move on to Tottenham next weekend. Times are tough right now. It's depressing, but you know, I love this football club. I love Chelsea. Things will get better at some point. I don't know when, but hopefully they will. Let's keep backing the team. Let's keep supporting the boys. Hopefully we'll start winning again soon. Up the Chelsea. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend. Catch you again soon.